Hi everybody, I'm Patrick from Rocky Mountain Style, and today we're going to talk about the wool-lined waxed trucker jacket made by Flint and Tinder and sold by Huckberry. I will say, and I want to thank Huckberry for sending this to me for a review. Really appreciate that. It's up front, it's a great jacket, so hope you'll stick with me, check it out, see what I have to say about it. Also, if you are interested in checking this jacket out on Huckberry's website, there will be a link down in the description below, so you can check that out. If you are interested in it, wouldn't mind clicking on that link. I'd really appreciate it. It'll help me, help the channel. And any revenue I generate from affiliate links like this one in particular, every penny will go back into the channel, either in the way of upgrading equipment, buying things for more reviews in the future, or doing giveaways. So it really would help the channel grow, and I'd greatly appreciate it. Today we'll be talking about three separate points with this jacket. First, we're going to talk about the jacket itself, its specs, price, colors, things like that. Second, I'm going to talk about my experience with the jacket. I have had it about 3 weeks, and I've worn it quite a bit since then. I've been able to wear it in very cold temperatures, snow, and other conditions, so we'll talk about that. And then third, I'm going to compare it to this guy here, the Flannel-Lined wax trucker jacket, which I bought probably, it was the winter before this one, but near the beginning of the year. So I've had it over a year. So I will talk about some differences in those jackets and which one might be right for you. Okay, first, about the jacket itself. One of the main selling points of this jacket for a lot of people, myself included, is that it's made in the USA. The jacket is cut, sewn, and finished in Los Angeles, and the exterior shell is an 8¼ ounce Martexan shelter cloth from Fairfield Textile. Martexan is the name of the company that does the wax that they put into the textile. So Fairfield Textiles weaves the cloth and then waxes it with Martexan, and then you have an 8¼ ounce Martexan waxed cloth. The interior, and I'll have some B-roll running here, of course. The interior is a 50% recycled wool, so that's where you get the wool lined, 35% polyester, and then 15% other stuff. This jacket comes in 4 colors. I have the chocolate version, which to my eyes and with the way my screen is set, it looks kind of gray to me. Maybe it looks brown to you. In person, it does have a brownish hue, but it's a very dusky brown. It's not, in my opinion, chocolate's not quite the right name for it, but it very clearly is brown. But due to that duskiness, it does pick up some grays if you're wearing those in your outfit. It also comes in the famous field tan, which I have here with the flannel-lined version. It comes in a green, which I believe is called forest, and then also a more stone gray called charcoal. Along with the interior being lined in wool, the sleeves, thankfully, are not lined in wool. They are a quilted polyester, so you get a smooth sort of insertion from your arms with whatever you're wearing. That's great since this is a cold weather item. That's great if you're wearing a hoodie or another sweater underneath this. You won't get snagged up when you're going through the sleeves. And the fact that it's quilted actually makes a pretty big difference in warmth in my experience. And this jacket, of course, retails for $358, full MSRP. I believe they do go on sale once a year. Huckberry puts these jackets on sale once a year for just a weekend or something like that. So if this is something that you're really interested in, definitely go to their website, sign up for their mailing list, and watch for that sale. Okay, next I want to talk about my experiences with the jacket. And first of all, I'm going to talk about the sizing of this particular jacket. I went for a large in the wool-lined wax trucker. I have my flannel-lined wax trucker is in a medium. The reason why I went for a large specifically for this is because it is a colder weather item. Generally speaking, I probably won't just be wearing this over a t-shirt like I do with my flannel-lined. I'll probably be wearing this over a hoodie or a sweater, something like that. So I wanted something a little bigger that was easier to layer on top. And so I went with the large. Turns out that was definitely the right call. Given that I'm just short of 5'9", the sleeves are a little bit long for me. I will be getting this tailored, probably take the sleeves up an inch because something like this high quality item that's going to last a long time, I figure putting the money in to make sure it fits me exactly how I want it's probably the right call. Okay, so what have I done with this jacket? I've had it for about 3 weeks, like I said before. I've worn it quite a bit. Pretty much every time I've gone outside here in Colorado, in this time of year, it's been very cold, and I've been taking this jacket with me. Um, a recent experience. My wife and I were at an outlet mall up in Denver walking around last weekend. It was about 25 degrees or so. I was wearing this on top of another Flint and Tinder product, actually, the 10-year quarter zip pullover, which is another pretty beefy, pretty warm product. Um, but walking around in 25 degrees with that pullover and then this on over top of it, I was actually too warm. So when we went into one of the stores, I actually took the pullover off and just actually did go with a t-shirt with that, and it was completely fine. So the warmth is not in question here. That is for sure. Um, Also, on that trip, we were walking around the city, went out to dinner, and it was probably by this point high teens, 18, 19 degrees, something like that. The jacket kept me warm, and on our way out, it had started snowing fairly heavily. So we got to walk around the city in the snow, and I got to check out the water resistance of this, which was a nice treat. And I had it completely covered in snow. The snow would melt on it, and sort of water would beat up a little bit. By the time we got back to our hotel, walked around a little bit up to the room, it was dried off, no water spots, just completely fine. So the water resistance of this also, I can give my thumbs up approval for that. Another thing I wanted to talk about is the patina potential of this particular jacket. And so since this one is a darker color than the field tan here, I've noticed even a lot quicker than with this one, whenever you get the bends and the creases in it due to the wax, you can see those little lines, pretty much instantly. They're more readily apparent. So in my mind, this thing is probably going to patina up a little bit quicker than the lighter version. Whereas with this one, and you may not be able to see this on the cameras, but most of the patina I'm seeing here on mine is with, in the cuff area and on the sleeves. I think that's probably just due to dirt and oils from my hands, right? Or other things I'm doing with them. But it is darkening up a bit there and looking pretty cool. But the rest of it, where it maybe doesn't have as much contact with my skin or other things that might impart dirt or oil to it to get that darker tone that you see in all the ads, it's still pretty light in those spots. But with this one, I think it's going to be entirely up to the wax creasing and bending and cracking and putting these really cool, whiskers and lines and things in the jacket. So um, unless you're really heart set on the field tan, in my opinion, I'd probably go with a darker color like you have this one right here. Okay, so for the third major point, I want to talk about the differences between the flannel-lined wax trucker and the wool-lined wax trucker, and which one may be right for you based on what you're looking for. So the basic things up front, then we'll talk about the ones that are more field-based. So the flannel line comes in 8 colors. The wool line only comes in 4. The 4 is a subset of the 8. So you can get all the colors from this and this, but you can't get all the colors from this and this. So if there's a specific color you really want and you just have to have it for an outfit or because you just love it, you may have to go with the flannel lined. In addition, I always just figured they were made out of the same exterior material, but after doing a little research on the website, that's not actually true. So as I mentioned earlier, this is an 8¼ ounce shelter cloth. The flannel line is actually a 7-ounce sailcloth. So I did some Googling, couldn't really find the difference between sailcloth and shelter cloth. But that is to say, this one is 1¼ ounce thicker, not thicker, 1¼ ounce heavier. I'm sorry. And so when they're waxed up, this one's going to be quite a bit heavier. I did notice, however, I did the math on the 2 figures I found on Fairfield Textiles website. Both weights actually do increase by 35% exactly. So this starts with a heavier base, increases by 35%. So if you want to think about it that way, you could actually say there's more wax on the wool lined than the flannel lined, but that's just the math geek in me coming out, right? In addition, so the linings themselves and how they're done in the interior is another major difference. So the wool lined, obviously wool versus 100% cotton, going to feel a lot different, right? Even though this is 50% recycled wool. So yeah, this is a little bit scratchier as you get with wool, but not scratchy, and it's not going to be touching your skin anyways. But with this one, it's completely lined. The sleeves are completely lined with that soft blanket material, which for me, and why I got this one in a medium, was because that's a lot softer on your arms if you're just wearing this with a t-shirt. So I like to wear this one when it's, 35 degrees and up, say. Maybe 35 would be my lowest. And I run pretty warm, so adjust your temperatures as necessary. This is more, early spring, fall, warmer days in the winter, kind of a jacket. This one, however, the sleeves are lined, of course, with quilted polyester, and then filled. So it's like having a puffer jacket on the inside of your sleeves. Um, so that's better for putting, the thick undergarments underneath, hoodies, sweaters, things like that, so they slide in better. But it really does make a significant difference in the warmth. I really didn't think it was going to be the case. I thought they'd both be about similar, and maybe this one would be a little heavier, but they really are different classes in my mind. This is really a jacket in my mind. This is a coat. This is a full up winter coat. So that's one thing to keep in mind as well. And then, so how do they make you feel though? That's one of the things that's important, right? Is when you're spending this much money on a garment, one, you want it to last. That's not a problem with either one of these. These things are, in my mind, more or less lifetime products, unless you're wearing them every single day. But you really need to understand what you're going for. If you want something to keep you warm, maybe keep you safe if you're walking through the woods, you're going through the brush, something like that, you're going to want probably the slightly heavier version here. If you're looking for something that's more of a fashion statement, like our buddy from The Last of Us, maybe you want something like this that's easier to wear with more outfits, and you can get a smaller version that's more form fitted. But you really can't go wrong with either one. Um, I feel fortunate to be able to have both here to review and to wear and to help Patina over the years. And I certainly plan on wearing them both a lot and then sharing regular updates with you guys as they break in over the years. So if you have any questions about either one, feel free to drop a comment below, and I would love to chat with you about them. Or if you have any other specific questions about Flint and Tinder, about the construction, anything like that, please let me know. Thanks a lot for watching, guys. Have a great day.